Mental Health Monday
on Radio City Talk
with Mick Coyle.
Tackling the stigma.
Radio City Talk.
So, this week's Mental Health Monday with the Men's Shed Project. A brilliant listen and available to check out and download for free. The podcast is available now. It's brilliant to get them into the studio, but also to get that appeal out there that if you know of a plot of land in and around the Widnes area where these gents can put down their shed, then they can basically do this incredible work that they want to do with men who come to see them for various different reasons over the age of 55. Then get in contact with us here at the station, mick@radiocity.co.uk. That's mick@radiocity.co.uk, and I'll pass that on to the gents who want to set up the Widnes Men's Shed Project and have their own home for it. Jake Mills joins us in the studio from Chasing the Stigma. Jake, great to see you. How are you?
I'm all right, just finishing a bacon butty, which is my third of the day.
The third of the day. Again, it's not good for you.
I realised that only people who are listening to the radio show will get that. Otherwise, people listening on the podcast won't have a clue what we're talking about.
Well, that'll teach people the inconvenience of having to listen to live radio, but you get the context. The convenience of the podcast, you don't understand the why is Jake eating 3 bacon butties? The podcast listeners don't know.
It's for the best.
How many bacon butties have you eaten in a day? Like, just as a record?
I'd say probably max 2. Probably max 2. I can't imagine eating more than 2 bacon butties a day.
But I've even got, if someone says, "Oh, I'm sticking some bacon on," I'd probably go, "I've just had one, thanks."
Yeah, no, I'm thinking more if like there's a load of bacon there, you've had a bacon butty, there's some bacon left over, some bread left over, I'll help it out and I'll have another one. Having a third, I probably wouldn't.
No, this is true. Again, if you listen to the live radio show, you understand why I'm talking about this. The podcast, a little bit of a different story. Let's talk about the Widnes Men's Shed Project. It was great to get the gents on the studio. I like a good tinker myself.
Yeah.
And this idea, and I sense that Colin was almost slightly apologetic about the fact that they'd realised that actually only when it's men only could it have the effect that they wanted to have within the men's group. And I tried to appease that point of view. I thought it was understandable, given the nature and that generation particularly of men, that there is a sense if you want to talk about your feelings and your mental health, you're probably not going to do it if there are women in the room, because you've been brought up in a way of thinking, well, men think a certain way, men act in a certain way.
Yeah, I think this is something that we do have to address, actually, and I think people often are apologetic or almost scared or embarrassed to talk about a male only service as if that's a negative thing. It's not. It's not being an anti-women. It's not saying women are banned. It's saying actually we're creating an environment that is suitable for men to talk to men. And I think the men's sheds type of projects. One of the first things that I kind of heard about when we set up Chasing the Stigma and the Hub of Hope and looking at those alternative ways of support. I know that we've got one in Bootle as well. I think there's a Bootle men's shed in there. And these are exactly, in my opinion, the most important types of support that's out there, because you're actually distracting people and tricking people into actually talking and being there. I think just by giving somebody a task and saying, and whilst you're here, shall we talk? You're taking that intensity away from it. You're taking that clinical side away from it. And that's so, so important. And the appeal, as you said, to find a piece of land in the Widnes area, we'll do everything that we can as well to try and help and support it, to try and get them this project, because it will be life-saving. It will be life-saving. They'll be able to appeal to men in a way that NHS and clinical and professional side of things won't be able to.
And actually it was good to see that actually you can have that environment, create that environment, let men talk amongst themselves, and it becomes a self-policing sort of mental health thing. They had they talked about the fact that they've also got the therapist next door if they need that. Exactly. And that's always brilliant that that's there in case you need it. But actually this idea that if you've got men in a room, they may not want to sit round in a circle with a cup of tea and go, today I feel like this. But they will fix a little widget on something, or they'll bend a drawer, and while they're having that conversation they can talk about what it's like to lose a wife to cancer, what it's like to be, whatever it is that they're going through, whatever the grief that they're going through, what it's like battling maybe illnesses that they've gone through as well. And all you've done is you create an environment to make that work.
Exactly, and that environment that you've created and what you are creating through that service is intervention. So it might be that the men that they're able to get access to and to be able to have that as part of their services might not actually ever need therapy or medication or anything like that. It might just be that they just needed somebody to be able to release that, and if they didn't have that, that could have manifested and become something worse that could have then meant that they did need those other forms of treatment. So it's that intervention, that prevention type of work, which is so important, because that eventually is going to alleviate that pressure on NHS and waiting times and everything else.
It will save a fortune. Again, if you've got a plot of land, a small part of land in and around the Widnes area, and you can think, well, you know what, that's available, it's a bit of scrub, it needs a bit of work on it, they'll do the work. That's the point. If you want to listen back to the show, you'll hear exactly what it is they hope to achieve with the Men's Shed project. What's going on at Chasing the Stigma this week, Jake Mills?
Well, just before we say that, I just wanted to know what's the last thing that you made in the shed? So
I don't have a shed. So I've got my man drawer.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed an AC adapter.
Right.
If you need an adapter for a bit of technology.
Yeah.
Anything pre-2003. Don't come to me like asking for like actual relevant technology. Don't ask me for an iPhone charger.
Yeah. No,
I haven't got one. You want a Game Gear charger?
Yeah.
Come see me.
Wow.
I've got one because you never know when the NES or the SNES is going to come back in, and when you need the TV aerial switcher, I've got one. Okay,
I mean, I think that's more just keeping hold of stuff rather than like fixing stuff. So you've just put yourself in the bracket before that. You love to fix things and to make things and all that. And actually, you're just keeping stuff.
No, because then I think in the future that will be helpful. So, for instance, my littlest, he had a helicopter which just had a little screw, which he kept spinning because it had the little blade on top, spinning, and then it just came off. But he did it so much. Don't look at your watch while I'm talking. It's not your time.
How many times is he going to say spinning?
But because of the fact he also kept pulling it, it turned the screw, and the screw then just basically came loose. So went into my old toolbox. It's pink. Got a lovely, beautiful pink toolbox. And I opened it up and I found a slightly wider screw. Screwed that in. It found its new little groove. Wow. Spin. Gave it back to him. There you go. Your dad's fixed it.
Wow.
He didn't. I mean, he's won.
Yeah.
In his mind, I have 100% track record for fixing anything of his that's broken.
And I'm sure you'll remind them of that.
And so basically, if I get a shed, I could actually start building actual helicopters.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
I mean, yeah.
Man's got to have a dream.
Well, we'll look out for that in Widnes. So if you've got a plot of land for a shed and a helipad, please do let us know.
We can put the helipad on top of the shed. I mean, come on. These are steer times.
Yeah.
You've got to be economic. You should know that by now.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, so at Chasing the Stigma, we are still recruiting for our Ambassador Hope training program. So the Ambassador Hope training is a fully accredited 20-minute training that we've put together with the idea of being able to equip as many people as we possibly can with the baseline level of understanding that we believe everybody should have. And we're looking for somebody who will be able to coordinate the rollout of that throughout the country. And of course, we are working on the Hub of Hope as well. And we've got some exciting news about that, which I can hopefully talk about next week.
Excellent stuff. There's a new phrase which has emerged in the mental health world in the last 24 hours. Excuse me, it's called sad fishing. I'm not sure about this, Jake. I'm not sure about this.
I don't know about it.
So I'm going to read this from The Independent, because The Independent are pretty good in terms of their mental health coverage. That they're not going to go down like another newspaper route of going, "Whoa, what's this?" Mm-hmm. A new social media trend called sad fishing is threatening teenagers' mental health, report finds. Youngsters facing genuine distress who seek support online are being accused of jumping onto the same publicity bandwagon as celebrities, according to research commissioned by head teachers. Sad fishing has been used to describe when someone posts an emotional problem in an attempt to attract attention, sympathy, or to hook an audience. Apparently, someone called Kendall Jenner's done it. A new study by Digital Awareness UK said sad fishing is among the new trends that damage teenagers' self-esteem, with teenagers reporting that they have been bullied as a result. They did face-to-face sessions with 50,000 pupils aged 11 to 16. And it argues that students can be left feeling disappointed at not getting the support they desire, and it can subsequently make their emotional or mental health problems worse. One Year 7 student told researchers that he used Instagram to share his feelings when he was down due to problems at home. I got a lot of people commenting on and liking my post, but then some people said I was sad fishing the next day. Sharing my feelings online has made me feel worse in some ways, but supported in others. Oh, you're just sad fishing, you mate.
Which is attention seeking.
Just an attention seeker.
Yeah.
All that stuff you've been doing about mental health, Jake.
Yeah.
You're just an attention seeker.
So this is something that we do have to battle with constantly. Is that idea? It's that idea that people, almost as if people are always trying to just trick you or to use something to their advantage, and that is where stigma comes from. Call it what you want, call it attention seeking, call it sad fishing, whatever label you put on it, that is stigma, and that will eventually prevent people from speaking out about this. So yeah, but I'm going to go away and have a little look into that, because
it's that thing in it where if you say to someone, if someone's feeling down, they don't know where to turn, they don't know what they're supposed to do, they're not been taught about how they're supposed to feel about themselves, maybe they're feeling suicidal, maybe they're feeling down, maybe they're battling against countless things, but they don't know where to turn. And someone goes, oh, you're just looking for attention. Correct, they are looking for attention. Mm-hmm. They're looking for someone to sit down with them and say, why are you feeling like this? What help is there for you? If it's attention seeking, people presume that that's a negative thing, but actually they might be looking for attention. Yeah. Now, 0.5% of these posts might be people thinking, if I say something like this, people might think I'm deep and meaningful and I might get some more followers. Fine, there'll be a percentage who'll do that, because there are a percentage of people who do that sort of stuff. Anyway, but if you're going to go, what you've done in creating this sad fishing phrase, if you've created a weapon to throw at somebody who goes, you know what, I'm not feeling great. Oh, you're just sad fishing. You're just looking for likes and retweets, which I think is a worrying thing. Now, there is a different side to it as well, which is that some people are also going online to try and find people who are expressing that their life maybe isn't going the way that they hope, and they're exploiting them as vulnerable people. But again, that's something which we should be looking at as a policing matter. Absolutely. That's not something which should be the concern of people who are actually looking to find help online. That's for people targeting vulnerable people online. That's a policing matter. That's a completely different thing. And we should be aware of that in the same way we should be aware of everything in terms of stranger danger.
Definitely, I think it's a bit of a relevant point at the moment as well, because Denise Welsh put something on social media in the last 2 days, which was her during the depressive episode, and she filmed it. I don't know if she done live actually, to show the reality of what that was like for her and stuff. And I think on one hand that's good and great that she's shared an experience so that other people can see the reality of it, and maybe highlight different feelings for people to be able to associate them. But also I think social media can be really good, and I've supported social media certainly when it's being used as a bit of a scapegoat. But I think that it's more important for us to be telling people about the help and support that is available, rather than telling people to share things publicly. I'm not saying that if you do share it publicly you're in the wrong, but I would rather that we use social media to show people where the help and support is, because just putting something online might lead to you to be abused in this way, trolled, whatever word you want to use for it. That could ultimately make you more vulnerable. So we have to be using social media responsibly to show people where the help and support is. Yeah,
but I think the other point is, though, if you're in a situation like that and you think, the best thing I can do now is put this online, that's arguably, but it's that idea of it's a cry for help, but the cry for help based around the fact that there aren't, if you were part of therapy sessions, talking therapies, if you had a great, deal of people around you who were working towards putting you in a better place, you probably wouldn't be thinking, oh, right, I'm going to share this whole thing on social media. But if you felt isolated, if you felt alone in your battle and you weren't getting the support because the support either didn't exist or wasn't around you or you hadn't found it, you would turn to social media as like a last chance.
You would, and that's why we've got to make that responsible for as a platform, because so if somebody... Is the other things that we can be doing before it gets to that final, right, and don't get me wrong, I speak as somebody who done exactly that, but the response I got was positive. But it's about how we can use that and the platforms themselves to say, not necessarily to be looking out for words and what we've discussed in the past, but to make something clear and obvious at the top of the page or on every page to say, here's where you can go and get help.
And here's from a line from this Year 7 student, which just goes to show that actually with anything online, sometimes social media is good, sometimes social media is bad. Sharing my feelings online has made me feel worse in some ways, but supported in others.
Yeah.
And that's basically like football social media, politics social media, all kinds of social media. Some of it's good, some of it's bad.
Of course.
It's about finding your own balance. Jake, thank you for your time today. Where can people find the details of that job actually working with you?
ChasingStigma.co.uk.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mental Health Extra from Radio City Talk, following on from Mental Health Monday. Again, if you want to help out the team from the Widnes Shed Project and you know of the a spot in Widnes where they could actually put down one of their, quote, sheds, then get in contact with us here at the station, mick@radiocity.co.uk. That's mick@radiocity.co.uk. We want to hear from you.
Mental Health Monday with Mick Coyle.
On Radio City Talk.